Industrial revolutions that began at the end of the 18th century was a turning point to the world history. In a period of 200 years, population growth and average income increased significantly. Population growth, accompanied by increase in production at the time, because industry required greater energy consumption. Coal and fossil fuels became an alternate innovation to answer the problem. But the next question is it good to our environment? Unfortunately, no, it costs us too much. Air pollution, global warming, and climate change are the consequences. And here we are, a carbon tax, a tax imposed to the user of fossil fuels and coal. According to Indonesia Ministry of Finance, this carbon tax will be used as an instrument to control this climate change. But this carbon tax has pros and cons from various parties regarding to the impact of this tax regulation. So what are the impacts of implementation this carbon tax to our country, Indonesia? Let's figure it out.
The first thing we need to know about the positive impact of carbon tax policy. There are several positive impacts that will occur by implementing the carbon tax policy in Indonesia. The implementation of carbon tax provides a strong signal that encourages the development of carbon markets, technological innovation, and investment that were efficient and low carbon. And also, the income from the carbon tax can be used by the government to increase development funds, invest in environmentally friendly technologies, or provide support low-income communities as a social program. The International Energy Agency stated that several countries such as Sweden, Finland, and Denmark have been able to reduce negative externalities due to carbon emission by 7 to 15% by using a carbon tax. In Southeast Asia, Singapore became the first country to impose a carbon tax since January 2019 at the rate of $4 per ton of carbon for GHG emissions.
Now, how about the negative sides? Implementing a carbon tax in Indonesia is considered to reduce the competitiveness of domestically produced products. The introduction of a carbon tax led to increased prices for goods applied internationally. This tax makes the production cost of exported goods higher, domestic production in general will decline, and there is an economic shock. With the addition of the carbon tax, there will be an increase in fuel price, which also impacts to the cost of production of several economic sectors that use this fuel, what we call as inflation. Most industrialized countries do not apply this carbon tax rule due to not contribute optimally to deal with changes or damage to the global climate and environment. The United States, for instance, which account for about 15% of global carbon emissions, decided to withdraw from the 2015 Paris Climate Agreement, while Indonesia only consumes about 1% of the world's total fossil energy consumption.
As the explanation before, the carbon tax will increasing the price of goods and services, which will make the difficult condition for small business industry, household, and the lower economic class. And it will be worse because Indonesia in unstable economic condition due to COVID-19 pandemic. From this condition, it can be concluded that Indonesia is not ready yet to implement a carbon tax in the near future. Wise regulation and supportive government is necessary for successful implementation of carbon tax in Indonesia. Budgeting and carbon tax revenue must be used to maximize the use renewable energy, such as purchasing solar panels or hydropower development. So it needs mature readiness and good cooperation between government and industrial players. And before implementing the carbon tax, it is hoped that Indonesia will carry out economic recovery policy, review the regulation and provision regarding the carbon tax so that it is applied fairly in the industry, so that it is not burdensome, and socialize it to the community. Regarding to planned implementation of carbon tax, and when it has been implemented, the government must be transparent.
We are Tax Rangers! Ready to join?
DELOITTE Tax